The expanding circle, that is, the region where English is taught as a foreign language in Southeast Asia, include countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Let's take a look at the state or use of English in Thailand first. In Thailand, about 99% of students study English, and they study English at school. Surprisingly, still, not many of these students succeed in acquiring a satisfactory proficiency in English. So we see that among these countries, Thailand is the country which has the longest record of English language teaching. And there was a time in Thailand when the teaching of English began from grade 1 in private schools and grade 5 in the government schools. And despite this long history of English language teaching, Thailand does not present a very successful model of English language learning and teaching. However, this policy of introducing English from grade 1 in private schools and grade 5 in government schools was changed, and the reason was the unavailability of trained teachers for teaching English. And English was discontinued in the government sector from class 5, and it was offered only in higher grades, only because of the unavailability of trained English language teachers. In 1996, however, English was reintroduced as a subject, and it was taught from grade 1 to 12 again as a subject, as a foreign language. In Indonesia, we see that being a Dutch colony in the past, the teaching of Dutch was emphasized. However, English became popular after the independence, and a lot of attention was paid to learning English. Now, in Indonesia, English is taught as the main foreign language, and the teaching of Dutch has discontinued. It is taught for 8 or 9 years from primary school, that is from grade 4 to 5, through the high school. So English is taught to students in Indonesia for something like 8 or 9 years. In Vietnam, first French and then Russian was taught as a foreign language. French because Vietnam was a French colony, and obviously French was taught as a foreign language, and there was a lot of interest among Vietnamese for learning French. But Russian was taught because of the inclination of the political inclination of Vietnam towards Russian communism, and for this reason Russian was taught as a foreign language. However, now in Vietnam also the importance of English has been realized, and English has become the main foreign language which is taught to people also in schools. This switch to English took place under this policy of economic renovation. The Vietnamese, including Vietnamese leadership, felt very soon they realized that for the economic stability and development of Vietnam, they needed to learn English and also teach English to students in schools. So now it has become the most favored foreign language of the students, and again because there is this general understanding, awareness among students that this language can help them in attaining better education, and also it can help them in becoming moving upward on socioeconomic ladder. So because of this economic value of English, it has become the most favored foreign language, especially of the university students in Vietnam. Now, all schools offer English in grade 10, from grade 10 to 12, that is the upper secondary school. In cities and towns, it is taught even in lower secondary schools. So, in the whole of Vietnam, including rural areas, it is taught in class 10, 11, 12. But in bigger cities and towns, it is taught even at lower secondary level. So we see in a country like Vietnam, which has had strong inclination towards communism, especially Russian communism, the importance of English is being realized, and English has made some presence in Vietnam as well.